Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Z James, and this is the Z32 workshop. And this beside me here is my partially disassembled VG30DE. That in previous videos, this is part 3 of a series of me tearing this engine down. I release a video once a week, so please hit that like and subscribe button. Everything helps here so you can get the notifications. And in this episode, we're going to continue taking the motor apart. This time we're going to work on the front of the motor for the most part, which is going to be the cast holder. Here, let's get closer to this, because we're just going to jump right into this thing for everybody. So we can get you guys a little closer here, get you to see what's going on. Alright, so, things we're going to remove. This is the cast holder. This is for the crank angle sensor, that's what it's called. So there's 3 bolts here. These are 10mm. After that, we are going to remove the water pump because it needs to come out of the way too. And then these coolant bypass pipes and connectors. They use rubber ones here. They are just 10mm as well, all the way across. So let's get the crank angle sensor out of the way. And depending on the time of the video, maybe I'll get to the cams gears here too, because that would be nice to have. So like this guy here, let's put you in here so you guys can see. Just 3 bolts hold this. Be mindful, there are other crank angle sensors brackets that have more than 3 sets holes. Just an FYI for everybody. The reason I tell you that is because I did have an issue. That's a long bolt, just so you know. At some point, they made a different set for a different timing situation, apparently. And I inadvertently had set to the wrong one on one of my other cars. Well, actually, my convertible. So that should just come right on. Right on. Oh, come here, sucker. There you go. It's got a dowel pin right here. And that sucker is oily. Let's put this off to the side. Let's go for the coolant bypass pipes. There's 2 of them. Just this hose here, clamps. Let's see if I can get them out of the way. Just hose clamps. Pinch, remove. I know this looks easy when it's out of the car. It's a hell of a lot easier. Those are nice hose clamps. And then we can probably... I may not be able to get these off without cutting it. Pull that off. Those are 10mm. And I can't get to that guy. So let's see if we can get the other side. These are, woo, with the hoses on, a pain in the butt. Let's try this other side over here. As you guys can see. Get a better angle. Here you guys go. Sorry. Lots of raw footage here, boys. Watch the raw footage for everybody, boys and girls. This just frees up stuff, get stuff out of the way when we do these. Come on. You are being a pain. There you go. I'm going to try a different ratchet. See if we can get something a little 1/4 inch, a little smaller. So bear with me. Alright. Let's see here. 10mm. Get in there, sucker. Come on. Oh, you're on. That rubber hose is really a pain. Just FYI for everybody, they do now make, Brian Dempsey Engineering makes a replacement for these that are billet aluminum, I think, if I remember right. And you use an O-ring to seal the block instead of just a liquid gasket you always got to put in, if I remember right, for this location. So I am angling, or eyeing doing that. Or, oh, that's going to be a problem. Hang on. Let's see if I can get that off. I hit it with a little persuasion. Oh, that's on there good. Whoa, whoa. Well, crap, guys. That's going to be a little bit harder than I wanted it to be. Let's see if I can do this a little better. There we go. As you can see, first one out. Just needed to get a good hit on it. And let's take a look at the coolant passenger real fast. Let's see how cruddy she is. And look at that. She is... that's just the lip. Let me get a flashlight there for you. Well, to be honest with you, it's not absolutely that horrible. It's just the edge ring. Getting it in there. See if you guys can see a little better. What's going on? It's got a ring. You have to clean that out. A lip. So that's one down. Let's go to the next. Here, hang on. Alright, so we get to this other one. Little bitty 10mm coming behind here, slip in, get on it, and it should, by all rights, come on out, hopefully. Oop. Yeah, power tools would be helpful here, guys, but you know what? Simple hand tools will still get the job done and doesn't add a whole bunch of time for guys who are doing this on a budget. As in, don't have stuff. There we go. I popped right on out. So that's the other one. So that's two down. Let's move on down to the water pump. Now the water pump has quite a few actual connectors. These are going to be 12mm. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, because that stud accounts. 6, 7. You gotta get all 7 of these on out to get the water pump out. And that's what we're gonna do next. So, let's see here. All this is, you just go walk your way around. I'm gonna crack them all loose first because it's gonna be easier. Oh, so you can see. And these are all various sizes. Oh. Coming off. And then the 7th on the bottom here is right here. This water pump I'll probably throw away. I mean, you just go get a new one if you're ever going to replace stuff. It's just so much easier than doing anything else. So these have got blue Loctite on them. I don't know if this has ever been... I'm assuming it's been off this engine at least once. Someone's replaced it like they should have to begin with. Wow, that's a lot of goob. A lot of goob there. That's the one thing that stinks about the VG. A lot of this stuff is just liquid gasket, which is easy, but it's cleaning and prepping the surfaces that take forever and are a pain in the keister for most of the stuff. You know what I mean? It's like just such a pain. They get in here in a razor blade, they get the surfaces prepped to do anything with them. Because it just, like I said, it's a pain in the butt. on doing that. And you need to do this. Water pumps need to be, I want to say every 60,000 miles. Is that every 60,000? No, timing belts. Timing belts every 60. Water pumps every 120, I think. Do not quote me on that. But see how this one's got a standoff? It's a little bit different. And then the water pump should come right on out. And a little persuasion. Pop. Goes the weasel. Oh, someone used the gasket, did both. So this has obviously been replaced if I remember right. And we can take a look. So this surface would be even more pain in the butt to clean up. Next up, take off. What are we doing on time? Not bad. Let's see if I can get these cam gears out of the way here. What we need to do is get to the biggest issues. These are the exhausts are not a problem because it's just 4 10mm bolts. Those gears come right on off. The others is the intake cams. We got to take these covers off to get the variable valve timing spring out of the way to get something onto here, and then find a way of locking this. These should be 8mm. Let's change this up. 8mm if I'm right. No, smaller. That might be 6s. Let's try that again. There. This is a 7mm. Just crack them loose. You can spin them off. So this is not rocket science here on these. These springs are known to go bad occasionally, so they're not necessarily the nicest. And once I get this up, this should start pushing outward. Should have pushed outward. Is there not a spring in this? I'm a little, there we go. I'm like, there you go. Just so you know, just like the cams are 2 different phases. Actually, there's technically 3. It's actually the same phase. But this spring can break in here. There is a little gasket here that goes onto this plate and seals it up. These are known to leak occasionally for this, but this is the VCT Spring setup. Let's go get the other side here, which you guys have seen before, but let's get in real close for you so you can see what's going on. That's loose. These are loose because I've had this side off when I was trying to figure out what was wrong before I realized I had rod knock. So this has obviously been removed once before. So this probably shouldn't pop as hard. This should already come up as we're moving it out. As you can see, I think it is, maybe? Yeah, it's coming off. There we go, this guy's popped out. Just so you know, these can be a pain to reset. As in, it's just pushing the spring in to get the little screw in. See, this one came off. And this spring is good. So that's where those are at. Let's move back here. Now the heat resistance is now we got to get something to socket onto that, which should be, and I'm going to use a big breaker bar. I'll let you know that in a second. All right, let's see what we got going on here. All right, these are 19mm, and I'm going to have my breaker bar with a 19mm on it. But as you can see, you ain't gonna hold it. Now, you could take the valve cover off and get a wrench on there and do a double pull like this action. But what I have found better, and other guys would attest, is you play with the loop here to hold the cam gear so she don't spin. All right, guys, hopefully this comes in right and zoom. Basically, I use a spare belt and I loop it around this and it tightens back onto itself. So as you can see, it gets right there and it is super tight. And now she's loose. That's how you hold the gear in place to do that. It takes a little bit to just play the game on the origami on this thing. But I am not going to remove the bolt yet, because I need to now basically flip this around to the other side. So this side does the exact same thing. We're going to end up looping it around, looping it over, then anchoring it in. Because this is going to want to pull down here. So we do this. So this might be sped up on your guys' side. To where I just do, come on. You're gonna get anchored in here. So what's gonna end up happening is it's gonna pull itself tight against it. All right? So it does this, and then you use the exhaust over here to help it out. All right? So realistically, this needs to get bound in. I gotta pull a lot more slack out of this thing. Or I do that. There we go. Ain't too bad. That's a little better. See, now it's tight. Let's do that. We can do. Let's come on. Oh, you sucker. Well, there we go. And now that nut's loose. As you can see, this is kind of the way I wrap it around. There are other different ways of doing this to get these bolts out. By now doing that, you can back the gear off, pull the belt off, and now these cam gears can come out. That's what a spare belt is really good for on this. These can get redone. Come on. Oh. Let's try this one. Get this guy out of the way. And these bolts are special. For these cam bolts, they're not just any bolt. They are hollow through the center to allow oil pressure to come on through, to push on that spring and stuff, just like the cams themselves are hollow. For a lot, it's how they do the variable valve timing on this on the intake side. This is their methodology. It's not it's variable as in it goes to a preset. I'm fairly sure it's not a where it's 100% variable in between the swing. I'm gonna go with a cam. All right, well, you're being pain butt. Oh, there it goes. And as you can see, they got a dowel pin right here to help centers. And there's a slot that goes into in the cam gear itself. So these are actually worth some money because you got to get them sent out to be rebuilt. These are phase 1s, so these are really nice. On all this. There we go. And here's the same deal. Another dowel pin, slot that holds them. They're actually not too bad. All right, next up, let's get the exhaust gears out of the way. Those should be, what do I got here? I bet you they're 10mm. Nope. 12s they are. No. Are they 11s? They might be 11s. All right, guys. 11s they are. Oh. right. Guess I should have used the belt there to hold these too. The other thing to watch out for, hang on, before I take these off, these seals can leak, and they're quite common to leak on these engines behind the cam gears. On these cam seals, that is like something super common that happens with these engines as well. Let's get a belt on you. Here we go. This is how I'm looping these across. Alright, so we'll do the same thing on the back other side. Hopefully you guys are off to edit this halfway decently for you guys. This guy's going to loop in. Way back over here, we're going to loop it. It's going to get tight. Luckily, we're going to come back. Okay. By doing this, looping it back, this belt here is going to get all the tension. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. And by doing this, this whole cam should be loose, just like this guy, for all its 4 bolts. Oh, yeah, that's being pain in the keister. That's weird. You're tight. You're very tight. Bolts off. I'm gonna be honest, cam comes out of the way too. They do make aftermarket cams. I would love to get a set for my turbo build. I'll see whether or not if I can scrap the funds together for these. But these also have a centering pin along with a notch on them so you can help do the timing on these. That's how all this gets done. But once we get this out of the way, we can get this idler pulley and this idler pulley out of the way. And then we can take these backing plates off for these. As part of the timing kit cover set. Some guys run without them. I think that's dangerous as heck because it allows any debris to get back in there and get into the timing. They're there to cover it to begin with. So, yeah, that's what we got going on right here. Let me speed this up. You guys won't see any of this. 14 mil, all right, boom, 14 millimeter on this idler pulley. Oh, you're gonna be pain in the butt here, huh? Oh, my little wrench ain't gonna work. Breaker bar time. There we go. Wow, you're stiff. That's a simple nut and washer. And then that idler pulley's out. Next up, this idler pulley down here. Same thing. Can you guys see that? Yep. The interesting part about this idler pulley is it's got a giant standoff. It's not just, you know what I mean? So next up is to pull off the timing cover itself, which should be, I think those should be 12s, 10s. Let's see how well these come off. Oop. Those also have a metal insert on them, so keep in mind you can pull those off when you do this. Actually, this backing plate's pretty nice shape. I may end up hanging on to this guy. It may not be sold as part of the timing gear set. The reason I say that is because these plastic rubber pieces here tend to crack or break, which, to be honest, I am missing. It's missing there and there. Because it should go all the way around, which is like super common, and I don't know if anyone does any replacements on it. I've never seen anyone do them or not. The only thing that stinks about all this timing gear set is this guy here. You have to get that all out to get to this guy. And this is almost free, except for this guy here, which the standoff looks like it was just finger tight. Ta-da! This isn't bad at all. And then that's the standoff here in the bottom that holds that guy down there. Because it was sitting right there. So that's that standoff. Let's get the nether side off. Boy, this whole front of this engine is going to be great. This guy's down. This guy's down. So once again, you got 4 plus a bolt, or a standoff for the front timing cover, which is that guy. And what I currently have is not big enough. Let me get these out of the way first. Uh, 17 millimeter on these guys, these standoffs. So, 17 millimeter gets that other standoff off. Nope, see, that hung on, and that was this guy. That's some of the stuff to keep the dust and everything out of here. But as you can see, I got stuff because this cam's leaking some stuff right now. All right, I think that's, let me back you guys on up. Or show you what's going on here. So pretty much that's the front of the motor, all disassembled, all except one other piece. In the next video, I will probably deal with it. And it is getting the crank sprocket off, which from my initial looking at it, I think it's gonna be a pain. Some of these fall right off, some of them don't. But you can see where you got, each one of these has got a peg to do these, to put them on. Here's all the bolts. Come off the timing cover, the idler pulleys. And then over here's the gears, which I will either hang on so I can use them as cores or sell them. I'm not sure yet. Having cores is nice, so I can send stuff in, just go get replacements on these to do this stuff. So let me, yeah, this is where we're at with all this. So, all right. I know this is a longer video, guys. I wasn't trying to put on, hopefully I can get it down to a half hour for you. but I had a lot of fighting on it, so maybe there's some cut times in here. But once again, my name is Z James. This is Z32 Workshop. Please like and subscribe. Every little bit helps. I hope this stuff helps you in your guys' future endeavors, because you really shouldn't be afraid of engines. I mean, there's stuff you got to watch out for things breaking, but you can work on this stuff. Or junk, as I like to say. You know, and now this thing's being much better. And if you haven't noticed, in between video takes, I got a new engine stand. So I went and bought myself the nice Harbor Freight job so I can rotate this motor over and work on these heads real easily when I do my own build. So, all right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.